Hello everyone and welcome back to Blues Fans TV, Jay here, and today I'm going to be talking some more transfer news, and today I'm going to be talking about goalkeepers. But before I do that, make sure you like this video, subscribe to Blues Fans TV, and while you're at it, subscribe to me, the back post here on YouTube. But yeah, goalkeepers, I think it's pretty clear that Kepa is out the door. You know, the last couple games we played of the season, last game at Wolves, the FA Cup final and Bayern, we didn't play him in none of them, and he wasn't injured. Frank was like, "No, you're not playing," and that was a huge statement. So it's kind of clear that he's going somewhere. We can't play him after that, surely. So, I think we've been linked with a couple goalkeepers, so I'm going to talk about them today. So yeah, let's get into the replacements. Right, I'm going to start with our black, and I'm starting with our black for a disappointing reason, and that's because it ain't happening, isn't it? I think he was a very interesting target and a very, he's world class. He's incredible. He's probably one of the best goalkeepers out there right now, top 5 easily. So of course we wanted him, but apparently Chelsea have pulled out because the price was too big. It was 100+ mil. And it was a bit unrealistic, and yeah, of course he's a good goalkeeper, he's going to cost a lot, but I just don't think we had that kind of money to go and spend all of that on one player. We need players in different areas as well as a goalkeeper, so I think spending that much in one position just wasn't suitable for us. But it's a big shame because he's incredible, and actually he said before the Champions League game against Leipzig, he said he'll consider his options. And he'll look around. He's been at Atletico for a while. Maybe he wants to move somewhere else, and maybe that could have been us. But by the looks of things, Chelsea have pulled out because he's just way too expensive. So unless that price comes down, I don't think this one's happening. So moving on to something that might actually happen is Onana from Ajax. Now, he's a very, very talented goalkeeper. We all know this. We all saw it firsthand this season. Be another Ajax player that we're linked with, which is a bit weird, isn't it? But Onana, he's very, 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 talented, and he's young, and he's got loads of potential. Like, he's only 24. Now, I've said this a couple of times on the channel now that Lampard is looking for young, talented players with loads of potential. I've said it plenty of times. That seems to be the model at Chelsea now. And this guy fits the bill. He's 24. He's had an incredible season with Ajax this season. If we just look at some of his stats now, he's played 38 games across 4 tournaments and he's kept 14 clean sheets in that time. And that is very impressive. Compare that to Kepa this season. Kepa's had like 8. Do you know what I mean? He's a really good shot stopper. He like I said, he's very young, and we could get him in and potentially be our number 1 for the next coming years. And I think that's what Frank's looking for. I think he's looking for someone to come in and be here for a while. It's what we need. It's what we've lacked since Cech going, maybe. I mean, Courtois looked like he was going to be that player, but then he left and snaked us. We wanted Kepa to be that player, but that ain't happening. So, whoever we do buy, we're looking for that number 1 person. And yeah, and also this guy's cheap because he's young. He's cheap. He's 26.9 mil reportedly. So that is a lot less than what we paid for Kepa, but obviously we paid a stupid amount for him. But that is a good price for a very talented goalkeeper and a very promising goalkeeper. So I think that's something we should be looking out for. And I know a lot of Chelsea fans want Onana. He really does seem to suit the style of play we want. Right, moving on to another promising prospect for us is Dean Henderson. Now this one really does excite me. Dean Henderson has had a standout season for Sheffield this season. We've all seen that, and he's now actually gone back to Man United. Now United have they have De Gea, who's their number 1. They've got Romero, who might be going, I believe, and then they've got Dean Henderson back, and they've also got whoever else. And I don't think Henderson will be wanting to go and play second fiddle to De Gea now. And you can't see Man United just saying, all right, then De Gea, you've got to go, because he's still world class. Yeah, he's had his shaky moments, but he's also class. So I feel like they've got to get rid of him, and because he played so well at Sheffield, I don't know if they're going to want him back, because they might go buy him or loan him out again. Who knows? They had an incredible season themselves, staying up so high up the table after being promoted. So it's a tricky one, really. And also, we're going to be wanting to go in for him, and will United want to strengthen us in that way? Because we are neck and neck this season, and going into next season, I feel it would be just as the same. We'll be neck and neck with them. So will they want to give us a good goalkeeper just so we can strengthen our team? That all being said, we all know his class, and I think Chelsea want to go in for him. He's, again, one of those players that really does fit our style of play. And also, again, he's really young. He's only 23. He's even younger than Onana. And I just, I love the idea of getting Henderson in. We've seen how good he was this season, and he fits that kind of play. And also, with the amount of English players that we want to be getting in, as well as already have, they can start forming this connection, and then going into the English tournaments, who knows where they can go with it. So yeah, and there's not actually like an official price for him at the moment, because there's not been, I don't think there's been as an advanced talks with Henderson so far, because to be fair, he's not long just gone back to United. But the transfer market, a couple of the websites, they're saying he's about 18 mil, which again is a very cheap option. But again, he could be that number one role for us. He can be that number one for the next coming years. He's 23. Goalkeepers play until their 30s. I mean, Buffon's 40, and goalkeepers play for time. So who knows if he comes in and settles in and likes playing with the lads. Who knows? So this one excites me a lot. It's been reported as well that we've put in an offer that 170,000 a week for him, just to kind of lure him away from Manchester United. So that's what's been reported. No actual price, but that wage has been reported. And if we look at his stats, to be fair, like you look at his Premier League stats, he's played 36 games, so almost every game for Sheffield. He's had 13 clean sheets and been involved with 14 wins, and that's just incredible. He's had 97 saves. He's saved penalties. You just have to look at the stats to know that he's an incredible player. And again, if you compare that to Kepa of 8 clean sheets this season, and Kepa only made 55 saves. I've only just saw that 55 saves he made this season. So he's almost doubled him in saves. That's wild. You know what I mean? Anything that just shoots at Kepa seems to go in. So yeah, the Dean Henderson one really does excite me. I really would like to see that happen. But I guess it's on United really, and which obviously we don't want. But I think it's on United to see if they really do want to give us him. Now, the last goalkeeper I'm going to talk about today is Ben Foster. We've been linked with him, and I've seen this a couple of times now, so I don't think it's just one weird wacky guy on Twitter going, "I want Ben Foster." No, I think this might be a bit of a rumour. I do feel like it's a bit of an emergency target though. I think if the Henderson doesn't go through, if Onana doesn't go through, there's other ones out there as well. Like if some of these deals don't go through and we're getting closer to the start of the season, and we've already sold Kepa, that's when I think Ben Foster will be looked at. He's a talent. We know that. We've seen it for years. He played so well for Watford. He's played for so many other teams as well. He's quite old, but doesn't mean he's not good. Like he's a really good goalkeeper. A lot of people have said he's been the best goalkeeper in the league at times, and he's playing for Watford, who have gone down. So that means a lot of teams are going to be looking for him. I think Everton are really heavily interested, which is kind of weird because they have Pickford. But then I guess they want him for a second goalkeeper to contest Pickford, because I guess he doesn't have that many people around him. But no, I think again this is an emergency target. But if it comes through, he's a cheap player. He's older, so maybe we get him in for a couple of years to shore up that defence and that and shore up the goalkeeping, and then maybe move on afterwards. Maybe then go for a Henderson or an Onana. But yeah, he's proved he really is. Even if he came in for a year, Rob Green did but actually played, I wouldn't be too against it. It's a bit of a weird one. I don't want him, but I'm not against it, just to shore it up a bit. Because again, Kepa, this video, it's just a bit sad against Kepa, isn't it? But he wasn't good this season, and for the price he was, and what happened in the final, I'll never get over what happened in the finals last year or 2 years ago. We compare him to him. He's even then, Foster's had more clean sheets than him. He's had 9, one more than him, and he saved 117 shots. It's just incredible stats. Compare it, and then when you compare that to the most expensive keeper in the world, why wouldn't I be excited by the idea of Ben Foster? And I guess that's just where we're at as a club right now. But no, it's not the worst thing in the world. It's an emergency target. I guess Kepa was an emergency buy, but that was a stupid one. But I think, again, we're linked with him, so I've had to talk about it. So yeah, there's some of the main goalkeepers we've been linked with this summer. I think that Henderson is my most my favourite option. I really do. I expressed that in this video. He's very exciting, and I really wish we go for him and and like really just pursue him, and then maybe have Onana as a backup if that falls through, because it seems more likely that it would fall through. But if we did get him in, imagine Henderson coming in, playing really well and being our number one for a while, with getting in a strong defence that we've talked about this week on the channel. So I want that. Let me know who you want. I really want that. And I guess I'm going to end the video talking about how excited I am for next season. I really am excited. I watched the Frank Lampard documentary this morning, and I recommend it if you haven't, if you're a proper Chelsea fan, because it was class. It just seeing Frank just reliving the whole season again, and then hearing it from his perspective was class. Like he was brutally honest, like he has been all season. And you got to experience some of the good moments again, like the Arsenal and the Spurs games, and Pulisic's hat-trick against Burnley. Like we got to relive that a little bit, and if anything, it just got me so gassed for next season. It really did. But they talk about Timo and Ziyech as well, so I can't wait for next season. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really excited for next season. We've still got more transfer targets that we could get him, and the season it's round the corner. Pre-season should be starting soon, because we start in less than a month now back in the Premier League. So yeah, and yes, I know Twitter won't start talking about Havertz. I think Twitter thinks Havertz is a done deal and it's coming out any second now, and don't get me wrong, nothing's changed with that. We want him, he wants us. There's nothing's changed there. I just think the two clubs need to come in agreement with a price. That hasn't been done yet. So that needs to happen before anything else. So yes, you probably wanted me to talk about Havertz today, but nothing has changed. It really hasn't. We need to come together on a price, and second that's done, we'll be getting him in. And don't worry, when that happens, that Blues fans will be documenting it, because we'll be all over that straight away, because that will be a huge signing. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what goalkeeper you'd want, and is there any I didn't mention? I know there's a couple names out there like Nick Pope maybe that a couple Chelsea fans want. So let me know in the comments below, who do you want, what do you want for next season, and then throw in your comments about Havertz as well. But yeah, that's been it. I'm Jay for Blues Fans TV. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to Blues Fans, and also, if you don't mind, subscribe to my channel at The Back Post here on YouTube. We talk all things football related. And yeah, that's about it. Cheers for watching, everyone.